Fitzgerald also owns the league's longest active streak of games with a reception. He still needs 233 receptions, though, to catch Jerry Rice. This just ain't going to happen. Kyler Murray passed for 349 yards in week 2 and joined Cam Newton as the only quarterbacks with 300-plus passing yards in his first 2 career games in NFL history. I'm going with the Cardinals here in an upset special, as is James. Neil, you're alone with Kevin, going with the Carolina Panthers.
Yeah, alone with Kevin is not anywhere I'd like to be honest with you guys. But, I think in this game, I mean, surely, Jay, this game is all about the 2 quarterbacks, isn't it?
Of course. But Cam Newton's on the injury report, is he not?
He is on the injury report with that same foot he hurt against the Patriots in preseason, the way to go, Jay. And hasn't practiced at all this week. Matter of fact, as of Wednesday, he hasn't even been at the facility.
Mm. When I said that this game is all about 2 quarterbacks, I do mean Kyle Allen and Kyler Murray, of course, renewing their rivalry from back in 2015, Jay, which you guys will both remember when they were on the Texas A&M squad, and Kyle Allen beat out Kyler Murray for the starting job back then. So maybe a little bit of a revenge game for Kyler Murray.
But you're still going with Kyle Allen to beat Kyler Murray.
Well, Kyle Allen started, one game and played in another game last year and looked reasonably okay. I think he threw a couple of touchdowns, no interceptions. I think he's a capable backup for a couple of games. And I think overall talent-wise, I think the Panthers have got more talent than the Cardinals. The Cardinals' defense is just terrible. So, yeah, I think the Panthers will still kind of sneak out a win here. I don't see the Cardinals winning more than 3 or 4 games.
Neil, 2 points to that. One, the Cardinals defense is on the field a lot because of a lot of playing out that their offense does. And 2, that talent that you so referenced for the Carolina Panthers is banged up beyond Cam Newton because Kawan Short did not practice this week due to shoulder soreness. Greg Olsen is nursing a back injury with limited in practice. Guard Brandon Green is also listed as questionable. Bruce Irving is nursing a hamstring injury. So they're hurting along both offensive and defensive lines. For the Cardinals, no big names except Jordan Hicks shows up on the injury report, along with Corey Peters and Jonathan Bullard, defensive end. So they're all listed as questionable for Sunday.
The Saints going to Seattle to face the Seahawks. Drew Brees will not be with the Saints, or if he is, he won't be dressed to play because he's got a thumb problem. They drop only to 12th in our power rankings, from 3rd to 12th. That's pretty surprising. The Seahawks move up from 10 to 7th. They are favored by only 4.5 points. With 1 receiving yard in his 50th game, Michael Thomas would join Odell Beckham Jr. and Anquan Bolden as the only players in NFL history with at least 300 catches and 4,000 receiving yards in their first 50 games. Well, I think Teddy Two Gloves can get Michael Thomas the ball for 1 yard, so I think that's going to happen. But we're all taking the Seahawks, and Neil has gone out so far on a limb and locked in the Seahawks. Guaranteed it.
Well, I've locked this one up, Jay, because as New Orleans Saints fans will know, as they've been also thinking about Billy Ocean this week, love really hurts without you. They'll be saying about their quarterback being out for the next 6 weeks. So, come on. It'll be close because these are 2 good teams, but I think the Seahawks will nick this one. Do you think, Jay, that Bridgewater will play more snaps in this game than Taysom Hill?
Yes.
Yes.
It's weird because I do think that there's been a lot said about Taysom Hill being, a guy that Sean Payton really loves and really wants to be the future of the team. But at the same time, I think he's more valuable to the team as the gadget guy than he is as the starting quarterback.
Even though he was referred to by his own head coach as just like Steve Young.
Yeah. Well,
Oh, gosh.
if he is just like Steve Young, then he should be starting. But I think that says a lot that he's not.
For the Saints, also in the injury report, receivers Taquan Smith and Ted Ginn Jr., both limited. Ginn was limited in practice this week, and Taquan Smith was out of practice. Defensive tackle Sheldon Rankins has done some limited practicing. Offensive tackle Austin Peete is nursing an ankle injury. He was limited in practice. For the Seahawks, guards Ethan Posick and DJ Fluker are listed on the injury report, both as questionable, one with a stiff neck, the other with an ankle injury. Jaron Brown, David Moore, wide receivers, toe and shoulder respectively, are questionable for Sunday. Quentin Jefferson is also questionable, along with guard Mike Iapati.
Oh, okay. Is that it? Is that the only injuries there? Okay.
There's some other names, but these guys normally don't play that often. Do you want me to mention Tedrick Thompson, safety for the Seahawks, who has a hamstring and didn't practice?
No. I was just hoping that your list was going to go longer so I could actually do work while I was recording the podcast. The Pittsburgh Steelers are at the San Francisco 49ers. The Steelers fall to 21st in the power rankings. The 49ers move up to 19, and they are favored by 6.5 in this one. Neil, I know you're taking the Steelers, but come to the dark side, my friend. Come live with us and Jimmy Garoppolo, who has just been brilliant, Neil. Jimmy Garoppolo passed for 297 yards with 3 touchdowns, 1 pick, but it's a 131.2 rating in week 2, has 829 passing yards and 5 touchdowns versus only 1 interception in 3 career home starts with San Francisco. He'll aim for his 4th start at home in a row with 100-plus rating. Perhaps the 49ers should have been my boyfriend, but maybe not, because they're doing better without me loving on them so hard. They are 2-0, and they will be 3-0. Mason Rudolph is not enough, Neil.
Well, we'll see, Jay. I mean, I would say Jimmy's been lucky so far. I think that luck might run out. Mason Rudolph. This is the big question now for the Steelers, isn't it? Because between you and me, Jay, and you too, James, the 3 of us, I don't think Ben Roethlisberger will throw another pass in the NFL again.
Oh my!
And I think this is the sign now. We're going to see next 12 through 13, 14 games. Mason Rudolph. This is his big chance to show that they're right in backing him and being the new starting quarterback. That's my view. I think the Steelers will be good enough all round to beat the 49ers. I like the pressure that the Steelers got last week against Seattle, and let's see if they can put Jimmy under pressure, because when he's under pressure, Jay, as Billy Ocean told us, there will be sad songs.
How many Billy Ocean references do you have at the ready? I mean, come on.
Yeah, I've got another 3 or 4 at least.
He's got the whole discography queued up right now.
In terms of Jimmy G, Jay, you're certainly in the Billy Ocean love zone.
That's very true. Could be my Caribbean queen. Except that has absolutely nothing to do with Jimmy Garoppolo whatsoever. James. Speaking of James, James Conner is on the injury report, is he not?
Yes, he is, with a knee. He hasn't practiced this week. Vance McDonald has a back injury. He was limited in practice. Joe Hayden aggravated his shoulder injury. He's questionable. Fullback Roosevelt Nix will be out. Sean Davis, safety, was put on injured reserve. And Vance Williams suffered a hamstring injury. He's listed as questionable for Sunday. For the 49ers, Jimmy Ward didn't practice with a hand injury. Nick Bosa was limited with an ankle. D. Ford has a knee and quad injury and is day-to-day. Kevin Coleman, ankle injury, is not participating in practice, and Joe Staley is out.
Listen, even if Garoppolo hasn't been brilliant, the 49ers defense has. So the team is solid you should all jump on the 49ers bandwagon now before it's too late and they don't let you.
No.
Joe Staley.
No,
Joe Staley's out. That's a blow.
If Ben Roethlisberger were playing, I'd probably lean towards Pittsburgh winning this game.
Oh, how dare you, James.
Especially if James Conner were 100% healthy. But his backup last week is the only reason that they got back. Is the only reason that they didn't get back into that game because that fumble was it him? No, I'm sorry, I'm thinking of the Seahawks. Never mind. That fumble that basically got run back by Devin Bush where he almost scored. That was. Anyway, next game.
Houston Texans are at the Los Angeles Chargers. Chargers fall to 10 in the power rankings. The Texans move up to 9, but due to the home field advantage, the power rankings will take the Chargers to win this game. They are favored by 3 points. Fairly equal matchup in this one, except the Chargers have had no problem putting up yards, and Rivers has historically torched the Texans. Phillip Rivers aims for his 5th in a row versus Houston with 3+ passing touchdowns and a 95+ rating. He has a 120.6 career rating versus Houston. That's the second highest versus any opponent. We're all taking the Los Angeles Chargers except for James. James?
Yeah, because you know who didn't play the last time these two teams played? I'll give you one guess.
Deshaun Watson.
Exactly. And that's why I'm picking the Houston Texans. That's all I got. I mean, as far as injuries go, Laramie Tunsil is questionable. DeAndre Hopkins, rib injuries, he's questionable. And guard Kelemeti is on the report for the Chargers. Their kicker has a growing injury. Keenan Allen's on the injury report with a knee. He's limited in practice. So, I mean, that's nothing new. Hunter Henry is out.
Okay. You keep ending at that improper time.
What more do you want from me, Jay? I'm giving you injuries. I've already given you my analysis for this game. I mean, Deshaun Watson is playing. I don't like Phillip Rivers. The only quarterback I loathe more than him is the guy in Minnesota.
Okay, fair enough. Sunday Night Football. The Los Angeles Rams are at the Cleveland Browns. The Rams move up to 3rd in the power rankings. The Browns move up to 16th in the power rankings. The Rams are favored by 3 in this one. It's only been 2 games, but to me, Baker Mayfield is looking at a sophomore slump, not a sophomore bump. Rams are +2 in turnover differential. Rams are -1. No interceptions, but Myles Garrett does lead the league with 5 sacks. But to me, the Browns just can't. I'm not going to sit here and say that the Browns were overhyped. I think the Browns have enough talent on that team. It's just been a tough schedule to start the season. With all of that said, we're all taking the Rams in this game. But I mean, the Browns are going to have their time. Let me go look at their schedule.
They started off with the Titans, and they couldn't handle Marcus Mariota and Derrick Henry. Granted, the Titans have a solid defense. And they played the Jets last week, who didn't even have Sam Darnold. They played 2 backups.
Yeah, and the Jets have a good defense. What do you want from me?
Don't. They have Greg Williams as a coordinator, and apparently Kitchens couldn't expect where the blitz was coming from. Let's be real. Greg Williams as a defensive coordinator is average at best, and as long as you can identify the blitz, which I don't know why Baker Mayfield couldn't do last week against the Jets, he should have exposed that team more than just that 75-yard touch pitch and catch to Odell Beckham Jr. There should have been more plays like that because there were more chances to audible to a quick hot route because all Greg Williams knows how to do is blitz. That's his whole defensive scheme, blitz, blitz, and blitz.
This next stretch of games for the Browns is going to be ridiculous. They host the Rams at Baltimore, at San Francisco, host Seattle, bye week at New England. That's not going to be fun for the Cleveland Browns because it looks like the hype train is about to die.
Can I just say, I look at the Browns right now as a team who have got a lot of really superstar players. You know, individually, you can look at Garrett, you can look at Ward, the cornerback, obviously the quarterback, and Mayfield. I like obviously, and Beckham, of course, and Landry wide receiver. But